Hello folks, and welcome to the Inner Strength community video. Today we'll be taking a look at the content of this new DLC. With the Bard, the Monk, and the Warlock being implemented in Solasta, our roster of classes is finally complete, with a total of 12 classes, each with 4 subclasses for a whooping 48 archetypes in total. On top of that, we're also adding the Dragonborn to our game, bringing the total number of ancestries available to 7. There's also a free content update that will be accompanying this DLC, so make sure you watch until the end of the video. With the power of turning music into magic, bards are powerful spellcasters who usually prefer a more subtle approach to conflict solving. They are famous for the utility they bring to the party with strong features such as bardic inspiration to help allies succeed on their roles, or magical secrets which allow them to borrow spells from other classes. Lore bards are defined by their remarkable versatility, getting access to magical secrets earlier than any other bards, as well as getting an extra 3 skill proficiencies. They also gain the powerful cutting words feature, allowing them to debuff enemies with their bardic inspiration. Hope bards are fantastic healers who can provide extra temporary health after every short rest. They also gain additional healing spells to their list of known spells, and their bardic inspiration heals heavily injured allies. Designed by our community during the second Wishing Well event, the Heroism Bard is a powerful support. Their bardic inspiration dice are always rolled twice to pick the highest result, and they can empower an ally with heroic tales to give them an advantage to all saving throws and immunity to fear. On top of that, Thundering Voice also deals damage and inflicts disadvantage on the closest enemy's next attack whenever the Heroism Bard inspires an ally. Tradition bards are high and mighty individuals nostalgic of the Manakalan era. They can cast mage armor on themselves at will and can't roll lower than 10 on intimidation and insight checks. Enemies who harm them will be the target of a verbal onslaught they won't soon forget, taking psychic damage and getting stunned on a failed saving throw. Fast, agile, and disciplined, monks are strong melee fighters who also possess a supernatural power known as Ki. This internal energy allows them to perform seemingly impossible feats, such as running at neck-breaking speed, deflecting arrows with their bare hands, or even stunning monsters by simply punching them very hard. Open-hand monks are expert martial artists who can shove enemies or prevent them from taking reactions when using Flurry of Blows. Their mastery of Ki also allows them to gather their inner strength to heal or shield themselves. Survival monks are defensive fighters who can take an astonishing amount of punishment without going down. Sacrificing Flurry of Blow for patient defense grants them advantage on attack rolls and resistance to all damage. And they heal a small amount of health every round as long as they're taking damage. Their toughness also permeates into strength. At higher levels, survival monks add their constitution modifier to their damage rolls. Our second community archetype, light monks are specialized against creatures who lurk in the dark. Enemies hit by Flurry of Blows will automatically start emitting bright light, which enables light monk to inflict additional radiant damage to them. They also can generate a sudden burst of light using their Ki, blinding and damaging everyone around them. Freedom monks are so fast that using Flurry of Blows grants them advantage on one attack and allows them to dash for free. They can also immediately counterattack using their reaction when an enemy misses them, and at higher levels, their Flurry of Blows grants them 3 additional attacks instead of 2. Warlocks are spellcasters that have made a pact with the powerful mysterious entity in exchange for the gift of magic. Not only are their spells always upcast to the highest level available, they also unlock eldritch invocations to gain access to various powers that can easily turn the tides of a fight. Fiend Warlocks have supernatural resilience. They gain temporary hit points every time they kill an enemy, and can choose a damage type they will resist every time they finish a short rest. On top of that, by calling upon the Dark One's own luck, they get to roll an additional d10 on all their ability checks and saving throw for a full minute. Hive Warlocks share many features with the Redeemers. Spells they cast weaken their enemies, giving them disadvantage on their next saving throw, and they gain the ability to counter spells for free once per short rest. At higher levels, they also gain a reactive carapace, which grants them temporary hit points whenever they take damage from a magic effect. Our third and last community archetype, Timekeeper Warlocks are all about warping the time-space continuum. With Curse of Time, enemies damaged by spells are slowly worn down by a damage over time effect. When damaged, Timekeeper Warlocks can banish themselves for a round and reverse the damage taken. And with Accelerate, they can grant the effect of haste for a short time to a nearby ally, without the lethargy at the end. Tree Warlocks are not to be confused with Druids, as the blessing they have received is a little more invasive. Enemies attacking them will be in for a surprise, as they will take piercing damage due to small, crooked branches coming out of their skin. Tree Warlocks are also blessed with poison and necrotic damage resistance. At higher levels, they can even explode in the tangle of spikes, dealing massive damage to all creatures in melee range, both shoving and restraining them in the process. The Dragonborn has finally arrived. Introduced in the 4th edition, these newcomers are fairly popular as many of you were asking us to implement them. They are now available in the character creation with all their features, including their breath weapon. A new DLC also means a new free content update with its share of bug fixes and optimizations. You can look forward to 17 new feats available for free in this update, most of which have been added to help give more choices to our martial classes, such as Mighty Blow, which boosts the damage dealt with two-handed weapons, or Cloak and Dagger, which temporarily increases your AC after hitting an enemy with a light weapon. We are rolling out 3 new backgrounds to accompany the release of the Bard, the Monk, and the Warlock. Note that the Ascetic, the Artist, and the Occultist do not have any special quest attached to them in the Crown of the Magister campaign. Another popular request ever since our release on Xbox is the gamepad support. You can now pick up your favorite controller and play Solasta on PC with it. Haven't been traumatized enough by Aksha and other bosses from the Crown of the Magister and Lost Valley campaigns? You can now use them in Dungeon Maker to create more adventures with them. We've also added quite a few previously missing monsters and items, which should now be available to be used. The Inner Strength DLC and its free content update are available to purchase and download right now. To learn more about all the changes, make sure you read the full patch notes linked in the description below. Have a fantastic day, and we hope to see you in Solasta.